With hundreds of skins to choose from in Fortnite, it's no surprise they're not all completely original creations by Epic Games. Now, we're not saying their skins are rip-offs from other sources, no. But when searching for inspirations from many of their skins, they turned to movies. In fact, there are plenty of skins that are based off some of our favorite movie characters. So today, that's exactly what we'll be taking a look at. What better skin to start with than the Merry Marauder? We first got to see this skin on Christmas 2017 before it got re-released again for Christmas 2018. Just like Niyzol, we love the hilarious grumpy look of the skin. Seriously, just look at that face. It's not hard to tell what the Merry Marauder is based on either. The thing is, it wasn't based on just any gingerbread man. It was based on Gingy from Shrek. You know, the gingerbread man that acts like a grumpy old man. He was created by the Muffin Man. The Muffin Man? The Muffin Man! And even attended the Cookie Academy where he excelled in home economics. But we don't think the Merry Marauder went to college. He has a completely different set of skills. Now, they definitely don't look exactly the same, but as far as walking, talking gingerbread men go, Gingy's the only one we've seen in the movies that stuck with us. Their buttons sure are different, but that grumpy face is present on both of these guys. For completing some 14 days of Fortnite challenges at Christmas, you could have even got the Merry Munchkin pet that looks a lot more like Gingy than the actual skin. It also has the mean mug because all gingerbread people are constantly angry for some reason. By now, everyone knows what the Reaper's skin based on, so we're sure you're not surprised to see it on this list. Just in case you've been living under a rock, this skin is often known as John Wick to many players, including NetJ, so at least you know now what it's based on. If you're too young to watch John Wick, then just sneak onto your parents' Netflix account and watch it when they're out doing groceries or something. Trust us, it's worth it, and you'll be practicing your imaginary gung fu skills for years afterwards. The movie character played by Keanu Reeves has an iconic black suit with long hair and a beard. Sometimes the suit is all black, while other times he likes to wear a white shirt underneath, but typically the all-black look is what John Wick prefers to wear. He ended the lives of many men in the movies, so it's a fitting color scheme. This all-black color scheme is replicated on the Reaper skin, along with the long hair and beard. Literally, the only difference between the skin and John Wick character is that it has a cartoonish style in Fortnite. Other than that, they're spitting images of each other. While people calling Russ Lords have become a popular playground insult since Season 3 of Fortnite, it should honestly be a compliment because this skin is rad. Does anyone even say that anymore? Anyway, we'd love to be called Russ Lords because the skin is awesome, and just like Claus97, we can't get enough of it and bust it out every once in a while, even in Season 7. Don't judge us. If you're a loyal CBR viewer, then you know we cover a lot of MCU and superhero content, so you'll quickly figure out which character this skin reminds us of. Yep, that's right, it's everyone's favorite half-human, half-celestial Peter Quill, aka Star-Lord from Guardians of the Galaxy, aka that idiot from Infinity War. From the soundtrack to the characters to the plot, the Guardians movie was so good, and even Volume 2 was as solid as they come. Now, maybe Russ Lord and Star-Lord's masks aren't incredibly similar to each other, but the rest of their outfit definitely is, especially that leather jacket. It's pretty much the exact same color on both characters. We don't think Russ Lord's capable of piloting a spaceship or taking down some intergalactic baddies like Star-Lord, but he can certainly hold his own in a battle royale, although he probably wouldn't mind some high-tech laser weapons. In Season 4 of Fortnite, we were introduced to so many new superhero-themed skins. Avengers Infinity War was just about to come out back then, so Epic wanted to capitalize on all the hype the movie was generating. One of our favorite skins has to be Carbide, and Hollow definitely agrees with us as well, because he fully upgraded the skin. It's this fully upgraded version of Carbide that reminds us of the superhero who started it all in the MCU. Oh yeah, we're talking about Tony Stark, aka Iron Man. While we don't know much about Carbide under the suit, we know Tony Stark's a billionaire, genius, playboy, philanthropist. The colors of the Carbide skin and the Iron Man suit are completely different, but Epic Games couldn't just make a carbon copy of the iconic character, so it makes sense. They're getting sued a lot, so probably not good from Disney. If it was possible to give the Carbide skin a red and gold color scheme, it undoubtedly resemble Iron Man, because the design is shockingly similar between the two of them. What stands out most is the torso and mask. They both look nearly identical. The only difference is that we don't notice any nanotech or jet propulsors on the Carbide skin, which is a real shame. Going away from the MCU for just a moment, we have to check out another superhero skin with an obvious connection to the DC universe, with Valor. This was an awesome skin because it was the only female superhero skin we had in Battle Pass Season 4. They released others in the item shop, but it was the only one in the Battle Pass, which is why players like Roblox Games flocked to it. It was different, which made it very popular back in Season 4. Just take a look at it. The skin immediately reminds you of Wonder Woman, the Amazonian warrior. Seriously, even if you know next to nothing about Wonder Woman, just take one look at the skin and you know it's based on the character. It was hands down the most successful film in the DC extended universe because, just like with the Valor skin, it was something different. In fact, the film even bested Justice League at the box office. Although we should probably check our numbers, Aquaman is doing pretty well. Once again, the color scheme may be different, but that's no doubt Valor's based on Wonder Woman. Their costume is literally the exact same thing, and they even both have circlets on their heads. It's great to see Fortnite give DC some love with the Valor skin. And back to the MCU, we've noticed a few more skins that remind us of our favorite superheroes, even if they don't bear a striking resemblance at first glance. The Battlehawk skin shown by the new Enforcer is just one of them. On the surface it looks like a soldier in the army, but it's the eye patch that threw us off, and it got us thinking about the god of thunder, Thor. Ah, Thor. If you watch Thor Ragnarok, then you know he lost an eye in his battle with his sister. He didn't know he had, Hela. Oh yeah, she also destroyed his hammer, Mjolnir. Now the typical Thor attire with the cape and long sleeves looks nothing like the Battlehawk skin, but if you take a look at Thor's outfit in Avengers Infinity War, then it becomes clear that there's some inspiration there. Thor's Infinity War outfit includes a sleeveless military-style vest to go along with an eye patch. All of these same pieces of gear can be found on the Battlehawk skin. Well, the skin has short sleeves under his military vest, but it's close enough. Battlehawk won't have the power of Stormbreaker in his hands and can't channel lightning from his fingertips, but he's more than capable with a firearm in his arsenal. Along with Battlehawk, one of the forgotten skins from Season 4 is the Squad Leader. It's not that these skins are boring, it's just that they don't bring as much to the table as the other superhero skins do. As LX2 shows us, the skin does bear a slight resemblance to one of the Avengers who was absent during Infinity War, and that's Clint Barton, better known as Hawkeye. While he's never had his own solo movie, he's been an important but often forgotten member of the Avengers since the first film. We'll be the first to admit that this might be a bit of a stretch. The skin doesn't look exactly like Hawkeye, especially in the face. Hawkeye doesn't have a beard, and the hairstyle and color aren't even close. But on further inspection, there are some interesting similarities between the two. The all-black outfit resembles Clint Barton's, and even having only one covered sleeve while the other is uncovered is a look we've seen on Hawkeye as well. Hey, you gotta keep that arm warm. All the archers are wearing that now, it's stylish. Now that we think about it, maybe it's not a stretch after all. It's quite clear that Hawkeye inspired the Squad Leader skin, even if it's just a little bit. We still wish we had Hawkeye's accuracy though. Omega was another superhero skin that you could unlock at Tier 100 of Battle Pass Season 4, and it was actually one of the rarest skins in Fortnite for a while. Niyzol is one of the first players to get the skin, and it looks incredible with its black and red style. While Infinity War was the highest grossing movie of 2018, right behind it was another MCU installment, Black Panther. It was an incredible film to give T'Challa a proper introduction to the MCU, and let us know more about the great African nation of Wakanda. At first glance, the Omega skin and the Black Panther suit don't look too similar to each other, but it won't take long before you notice that they actually have quite a few things in common. For starters, they're both all black. Sure, the Omega skin might have some red accents and a silver mask, but other than that, it's all black. Also, their masks are similar in design because they both look like they have ears. Some fans believe Omega looks like Ultron, and there's some similarities there too, but we think it's closer to the Black Panther even though Omega plays a villain in the Fortnite storyline and T'Challa has always been a good guy. The final superhero skin we'll get into on this list is Diecast. Also released in Season 4, It's Briar X shows us this skin in action, and it's not hard to figure out which character from the comics it's based on. He's a Russian mutant and member of the X-Men who's appeared in both Deadpool movies and is capable of transforming himself into metallic form. It's Peter Nikolaevich Rasputin, aka Colossus. Now, Colossus is so much bigger than the Diecast skin. After all, he's called Colossus for a reason. But Epic Games couldn't make a skin that big in Fortnite because they'd put players at a huge disadvantage. Just imagining playing as a character as big as Colossus is hilarious. Now, the color scheme between these two characters isn't similar at all, and neither is their attire, but it's the metallic form of Diecast that stands out and is very reminiscent of Colossus. While the look of their metallic form may differ, there's not many superheroes known for having a metallic form, so it's very obvious that Colossus inspired the Diecast skin. If the skin spoke with an awesome Russian accent, then we'd know for sure, but we're just gonna go on a hunch here and say that the Diecast skin is based on Colossus. Now it's time to get into some skins based on characters that weren't in superhero movies. Well, now that we think about it, Megamind actually is a superhero movie, so okay, the next entry will have a character who isn't from a superhero movie. The Leviathan skin is one of the most interesting looking ones in all of Fortnite. We're not huge fans of it, but we know a lot of players like SB737 who still use it to this day. It's essentially a fish swimming around in a bowl that's somehow capable of controlling its entire body. In fact, it's a lot like Minion, the sapient talking fish who's been Megamind's sidekick and best best friends since his childhood. The resemblance between the two is uncanny. Sure, Leviathan has a white and gold outfit while Minion has a black and silver outfit. Also, Leviathan's small while Minion's huge, but they have one incredibly rare thing in common. They're both controlled by a fish. There aren't many characters in movies that could say they're controlled by fish, but Minion's one of them, so this is one of the more obvious inspirations you'll find on this list. We're just confused as to how a fish can control an entire body without limbs. We pinky promise we're moving on from superhero movies now. You can't see our hand, but we're extending our pinkies out to you. Speaking of pink, Zoey's one of the most colorful skins in all of Fortnite. Like Swara, we think pink and green is a terrible mix, but that didn't stop Epic Games from creating the Zoey skin. It also had a ridiculous glitch where the skin would warp, and you'd be able to see a long piece of it from across the map. Sometimes her shirt would be stuck in odd spots too. Really weird stuff. Anyway, right away this skin reminds us of Candlehead from Wreck-It Ralph. She's one of the racers in Sugar Rush, whose signature cart is the Ice Screamer, which is a great name. While Zoey doesn't have a candle on her head, which is a good thing, the two characters look very similar due to their color palette alone. They both have ridiculous green hair and pink clothes. Even their tights and boots look similar, despite them being completely different colors. Luckily, Candlehead doesn't have nearly as many glitches. If we're being honest though, the skin actually looks more similar to Gertrude from the black comedy comic I Hate Fairyland than Candlehead from Wreck-It Ralph. Just Google it, look it up. Codename Elf is one of the rarest skins in all of Fortnite. Just like the Ghoul Trooper survived all of the Halloween re-releases, Codename Elf survived all of the Christmas re-releases, making it uber rare, and players like Scalatian are counting their lucky stars they brought it back in 2017. The skin looks like your typical Christmas elf. It's green, has blonde hair, and one of those typical elf hats. It reminds us a lot of Buddy from arguably the best Christmas movie of all time, Elf. It was a huge hit and made nearly $250 million at the box office. Will Ferrell's iconic character is nearly the exact same outfit as the skin, but instead of brown pants, they're yellow, and instead of blonde hair, it's brown. We think this is undoubtedly the clear inspiration for the Fortnite skin. It's a Christmas tradition for some families to watch Elf, so having a skin that reminds us of this awesome movie and the most wonderful time of year is exactly what we needed. Just hope you're a little better adjusted to the Fortnite world as Codename Elf than Buddy was to the world outside of the North Pole. You don't need awkward moments in Fortnite. Bye, Buddy. I hope you get a victory royale. One of the skins that didn't survive the plague of re-releases on Halloween 2018 was the Skull Trooper. It was a fan favorite since it was released on Halloween 2017, and OG players were absolutely furious when it got re-released a year later. But it's just a game, people, let's keep it classy like Niyziest. The skin looks like a Halloween costume, and many players thought it was a completely original skin by Epic Games, but it turns out we actually saw it in a movie that was released 33 years before Fortnite. The Karate Kid. This film is a cult classic that pretty much everyone's seen at least once, but this reference wasn't in the 2010 remake of the film. Anyway, at one scene in the movie, we see Johnny Lawrence dressed up exactly like the Skull Trooper. If you somehow never saw the movie, he's the secondary antagonist in the first film of the trilogy. Johnny and his friends beat up Daniel, all dressed up as Skull Troopers, before he got his butt whooped by Mr. Miyagi. The Skull Trooper is a great reference to the Karate Kid that probably went right over the heads of Fortnite's younger audience, but it's all good, Epic Games. We got ya. If you've never heard or seen of the Bandolier skin before, then you're not alone. It's probably one of the least popular skins in all of Fortnite, and most players don't even know it exists, but just like Tendai, we think it's pretty awesome. Unsurprisingly, the most interesting thing about the Bandolier skin is its bandolier. Well, it also has a cool headband and shades to go along with some white war paint, but it's safe to say that this skin's pretty badass, and on closer inspection, it reminds us of an equally badass character from a hilarious movie called Tropic Thunder, known as Kirk Lazarus. You know, the Australian actor who played Father O'Malley in Satan's Alley with Tobey Maguire. The movie won the Crying Monkey Award in the Beijing Film Festival, for crying out loud. Come on, people. Who are we kidding? If you didn't watch Tropic Thunder, you don't get those references. His character's absolutely hilarious, but we're not gonna get into his backstory too much because it's a tad controversial. Kirk Lazarus is known for sporting an iconic bandolier himself, so that's why we think the skin's based off him. They don't have much else in common, but the bandolier's enough for us to believe there's some inspiration there. Last but not least, we have the Mission Specialist skin that you automatically unlocked from purchasing Battle Pass Season 3, which was a heck of a long time ago. It wasn't anything special, but it really fit the space theme because, as Toothless shows us, it's an orange astronaut skin, which reminds us of those orange suits NASA astronauts sometimes wear. But those are real people, not movie characters, so we decided to do a bit of research until it clicked. In the 2015 movie The Martian, the protagonist of the film is Mark Watney, played by Matt Damon. He spent 11 months working at NASA, NASA before being selected for the Ares 3 mission to Mars, but things don't go as planned. We're not going to spoil the movie for you, but if you take a close look at Mark Watney's suit, it's orange and white, kind of similar to the mission specialist. The skin also has its visor up to show its face, sort of like Mark Watney in the promotional poster to the movie. His visor is still on, but it's clear, so you can see his face through it. All in all, it seems very clear that the mission specialist skin was inspired by those orange NASA astronaut suits. And those are just some of the Fortnite skins that were inspired by movie characters. Do you agree with our list? Are there any skins based on movie characters we may have missed? Let us know in the comments section below, and don't forget to subscribe to CBR for more Fortnite content. Thanks for watching.